my truth uncensored. My whole network viral. 12 and a half get you a quarterback. I got them shits flying like spirals. I like
always saying, man, we heard earlier this was, you know, some real devastating news to a lot of Lil Durk fans. Lil Durk, man, is now facing multiple charges that include criminal intent to commit murder, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. And they're also alleging that he robbed a man of $30,000. They're also, to add insult to injury, saying they have it on videotape, and they're trying to say that he's a part of a notorious street gang. So they're trying to put that in there. So you see the footage up there. You see him in court today, released that footage there. It's just not looking good. He did proclaim his innocence about 2 weeks ago. He put a video out. But Sam, man, what do you think about this, man? Another rapper seemingly looking at some, you know, real long time in prison.
It's going to sound real cliche right now because we've said this over and over and over again. It seems like the last couple of months, but this one, it's real unfortunate, especially when you now it seems as though there's some alleged video pinning this just to him. Now, we talked on a number of occasions about murder trials here on the podcast, and one thing that we've always came to is they're not easy to prove. Actually, one of the hardest things to prove. And we talked about it in the Nipsey situation, even though they got a suspect, and the suspect is, we all believe, is the person who did it. They got a tape. They still got to prove it. Still. So it's still a long way to go. But when you look at the amount of things piling on for Lil Durk, when you talked about the things that you talked about off camera that you suspected was going on, and now them coming to light a little bit in the ways that they're coming to light, we all know how this plays out. And this young man, I don't know how old he is, but he's looking at some real time. We got Chicago. 26 out of Chicago. Man. Right. It was becoming promising. Now, we're not listeners, hardcore listeners of Lil Durk on the podcast, but we listen to different things, and
his name is starting to get hot. And you know, they're also, you know, saying that they have a witness here. The Atlanta Police Department is saying the witness described Lil Durk pull out a gun, and then she ran around the building. She heard gunshots, and later saw the victim in a pool of blood. So it's going to be tough for him, obviously, you know, to win this case. We didn't know all these details. I'm sure he was shocked in the courtroom today. You can see the look on his face. And, you know, he's going to have to, you know, fight this case. I mean, we weren't there. We don't know. We're just looking at what, you know, the media is putting out for consumption of the people. But it's just sad because I was just saying, like, man, like, you know, I was just watching him and I seen that he was kind of, he had one deal, moved out of a different situation, had a different situation, and he was still, you know, moving, and his brand was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think he was one of those people who was kind of, you know, on the line of really being a real household name in the next 4 or 5 years. And to see something like this happens again, it's violence involved. I'm not going to get into the cliche shit, this, that. I don't know what happened with that. Now they're trying to put the whole gang shit on them, which is another thing that we talk about. But the thing is that if you look at a place like Chicago or Atlanta or any major city, this shit's happening. You have people shooting each other. You have people killing each other. You have a gang culture. You know, it's just sad when you got to see it play out over and over and over, because it was probably most likely over something silly. But I mean, this is a part of, you know, what goes on in America's hoods. It's nothing new.
Oh God, brother, 26, 27 years old, starting to kind of cross over to that next step in his life. We all know how once you hit 30, your mind starts changing and doing different shit. But talk about the rappers that obviously grew up in the culture that they grew up in, and not finding a way to get out of that within their minds enough to get them out of trouble, seeing what's on the other side of that life. Why in your opinion do young rappers find difficulty in doing it?
Because it's like, first and foremost, these are guys you come up with. You know what I mean? Guys that may, you know, be in the street. So you're not just going to be fake and just leave all your friends. You're going to leave connections to them, and they may not necessarily, like Durk may not have been into shit like that no more. He may have made the transition, but 10 his homeboys still had connection. They was in the street. They had to do what they do. They ain't rappers. They ain't got a deal. So until he gets it together where he can begin to create positions for them and get them paid, they got to do what they got to do. And I'm not going to, again, I can't sit up here holier than thou. I knew cats that was in the street, and that was the only life they was going to do. They wasn't going to McDonald's. They wasn't going to Walmart. They was going to live that life, live and die, you know, by that. Unfortunately, some of them did pass in the street. So I just think that it comes with age. Like you said, 30 is still young. I just think, you know, as the guys get older, and hopefully they don't get major cases, major charges and shit where they can, you know, live out their life and get to their 40s and 50s and see, okay, I was kind of maybe moving this way. Let me start disassociating myself now, you know, because how does it look? You know, you damn near 40 hanging around with, you know, this crowd of people that's in the streets and shit. It kind of don't look right. So if you can't pull them out, they're going to pull you in either way. So I just think it's hard, man. I mean, it's hard. You're not going to leave your friends. You know what I mean? Even though some of them probably in some cases should, because it can end them in a lot of trouble. They can have a beef or something in the street and they see you and you get hit. You know how the shit goes. So unfortunate situation here.
Kids got to fill out energy, man. And even though, and we know as entrepreneurs, sometimes you got to make some of the toughest decisions you ever got to make in your life and cut off some of the closest people that are in your life. And sometimes you're blessed enough, and like we're blessed enough, you're probably one of the closest people to me. So to people's knowledge that don't know, and we're having the ability to work together. That's a blessing. But there's people very close to me that I had to go, you know what? Now I got to shut this door real quick in order to take care of this business. And although they may think I've changed, although they may think I'm different, or they can say whatever they want, I got to have enough discipline to know if I want to be able to take care of them at all in the long run, I got to keep my head down, work, and ignore. And I wish a lot of these kids understanding the power of their platforms in this situation can help the people in there a lot more if they, and even can show a lot more loyalty to them if they got away for a little bit. Treat this shit like the military and don't answer calls. Don't come back. Let people think you're different. If you got to do what you got to do for social media, if you're getting a bag over there, do what you got to do. Reinforce to the people that you love them, but you got to keep this distance. And if they really fucking cared about you, they'll understand in the long run. But that energy, you cannot keep it around you because it will bring you down. Negative energy is stronger than positive energy because it's louder. If you ignore that and you get to that positive, you could change people's lives, man. And I wish kids just understood that more. It's not easy. Shit, we understand 35, 36.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So this dude's 26.
You feel me?
You know what I mean? And cats probably hanging on cats that's in the younger 20s. So, you know, it's just unfortunate, man. But, you know, as they say, the beat goes on. As soon as there's any more updates, obviously it'll be a trial with this. We'll definitely be covering that here on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast with your brother, Oh God, and Sam, man. That's actually all I have over here real quick. I'm gonna take a quick look, you know, before we go. But if you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, or Google Play, please do not hesitate to go ahead and give us that 5-star rating. And also make sure that you let a friend know, share the podcast, ask them to check it out, man. Hopefully, you know, that they, you know, would enjoy what they see.
In fact, and as Oh God and I look through to see if any of the stories are popping off and we conclude this podcast, salute to everybody listening on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and all major online outlets. And obviously, if you rock with us on YouTube, any of the 3 platforms, make sure you subscribe and tell a friend to subscribe to the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. We need as many bodies over there as we can. Got a hell of a lot of fucking subscribers, so y'all can slide over there. It's free on your phone, on your podcast app, no matter what kind of phone you have or device. And let's get it popping, man. Oh, God, real quick, off the top, best player in the NBA right now, in your opinion? Number 1.
Right now?
Right now.
I got to go with Kawhi. I mean, he's won the championship. At this point, I mean, right now, maybe not beginning of the season, but right now, Kawhi. His team has won a championship.
Mine is LeBron James.
Okay.
Even after this, I'm not mad at Kawhi because I get that. That makes sense. But nah, LeBron. This proves it to me.
LeBron. What about the Lakers? I mean, they didn't go to the playoffs.
LeBron got hurt the last 17 games of the season, which kept him out of the playoffs. Because if he wouldn't have got hurt, I believe they would have went to the Western Conference Finals. I just got to give.
Really?
I think so. I got to give LeBron some props, man, because I've been one to criticize him very, very excessively, even if not on camera. Throughout my life, I got to admit, he came in as a phenom. He was great, but he wore 23. I didn't like that. I love Jordan. He had a lot to prove. He put a lot on his back. And when he didn't do his thing in Cleveland, it looked like he came short a little bit, shrinking under the lights, and then he went to Miami. I lost a little bit for LeBron. It made me mad. He became a villain. I lost a little bit of hindsight of his greatness. And then when he went back to Cleveland, I appreciated it. Then I saw what he was doing as a man. And it's like, damn, the basketball court, this brother needs to be saluted as what he's doing off the court as a father, as a black man. Fuck the basketball court. And then you start seeing the greatness on the court and appreciate it. And it was like, damn, man, I might be underappreciating LeBron. I'll never put him on a pedestal as Jordan, but you're doing great things in this NBA right now. And to watch people just have the conversation all through the playoffs and throwing it around, and for the Kawhi to have it right now.